Hello everybody and welcome to this BIA webinar on getting the most from BIO 2017. I'm Steve Bates, the Chief Executive of the BIA and one of the three presenters with you today, and what I hope will be a useful half an hour or so to give you the latest and some insight into how to get the most out of BIO in San Diego this year, whether you're a veteran or a new participant for the first time. So I hope what we're able to do today is give you the basics of the BIO conference for those of you who've not been before, an overview of the key UK activities and some top tips from people who've been before, as well as the opportunity to ask some questions. And I'm joined today by Diana from BIO and Hilda from the Department for International Trade. Diana, are you there? Hilda, perhaps we can hear you.
Yep, I'm here.
Hi, Hilda. Good that you can join us. And perhaps Diana is making sure that audio is working. So, Diana, perhaps you can hear us. I know you're on the line.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can indeed. Perfect. So, Diana, you're the Director of International Relations for BIO, and I'm going to go straight over to you to give us some introductory remarks about the fantastic convention this year in San Diego. Over to you.
Thank you, Steve. Let me make sure I can progress the slides. There you go. Hold on. I think it's going a little slower than. There you go. Well, thank you, Steve, again. My name is Diana DeJoy. I'm the Director of International Relations here at BIO. I work with all our international guests, welcoming them to the convention, making sure the visit is fruitful and try to be as helpful as possible. So the purpose of my presentation is to give you a quick overview of what we're expecting this year at BIO 2017, and hopefully you'll learn something new. You can plan for a productive week at BIO. So the convention is scheduled for June 19th through 22nd. I guess in just 10 short days you will be traveling to San Diego, hopefully sunny San Diego, although this time of year here it can be a little gloomy, so definitely pack some jackets, but hopefully you won't need them. We're expecting 16,000 attendees this year, 2,500 of which will be a high-level CEO level. We have actually 1,800 exhibitors, not 1,600. Things are looking great. The exhibit floor is 99% sold out. We have 76 countries represented this year, and partnering meetings, business forum and exhibition partnering meetings are looking good, and actually we think we will pass the 40,000 mark, so not 35,700, but actually 40,000. So things are looking great for San Diego. This slide gives you an overview what the 4 days of the convention will look like. Let me just call out certain things. So convention starts on Monday, but with the programming will be late in the morning, but we do have some things I want to mention. It's not on the slide, but Select USA seminar will take place on Monday from 8 in the morning until 8:30 in the morning at the convention center. So if you're interested in learning how to invest in the U.S., to begin with, the U.S. Department of Commerce is doing that event again for, I think, fourth time. So it's at 8 in the morning at the convention center. Business forum partnering begins on Monday at 1 p.m., although exhibition doesn't open until Tuesday. So exhibitors can still set up on Monday, and we will have a specific door into the exhibit hall open so that if you have partnering meetings, you can freely walk in. And programming, education sessions also start at 1 p.m. something new we're doing this year. You will see on the slide One Health Day. So it's a new program, and basically the premise is to talk about intersection of human, animal, and environmental health and how they correlate. And in the evening, everything kicks off with a fun welcome reception at the Petco Park. It's a baseball stadium, but there will be no game that evening, but the reception will be set up right in the middle of the stadium. And it is within the walking distance from the convention center, so you can just hopefully the weather is nice. You can walk there. On Tuesday, we begin bright and early at 7 a.m. if you have partnering meetings scheduled. Exhibit hall exhibition itself doesn't open until 10:30, but you can again enter if you have meetings scheduled in the business forum. We're very happy to have David Cameron as the keynote speaker this year. His speech will be on Tuesday at 9 a.m. So if you have convention access or convention access plus partnering registration types, you're able to attend the speech. And like I said, exhibition opens at 10:30, goes until 6:30, and education tracks start, all 18 education tracks start after the keynote at 10:45. Tuesday evening is a fun exhibitor hospitality receptions evening, hopefully UK Pavilion. I actually think you do have a party, so that will be 5 to 6:30, but do keep in mind if you participate in the partnering actually goes until 5:30, so there's that half an hour where we have parties in the pavilions, but also there is one more partnering meeting at that time. Wednesday, so the overview, similar to Tuesday, 7 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. partnering meetings. Then we have keynote at 9 in Romney, and Romney is the former First Lady of Massachusetts, and Mitt Romney is a well-known politician and businessman in the United States, and the reason why she's a keynote speaker, she's a known patient advocate and a businesswoman. So hopefully that's something of interest for you. Hold on, let me go back. Wednesday evening, we have the gas lamp reception. If you've been to BIA before, if you've been to San Diego, you know the area, like right in front of the convention center, basically, is a gas lamp quarter. We block off a portion of it for BIA attendees, and basically restaurants in the area open up the doors, and you can go from restaurant to restaurant, and there is food set up on the streets as well. Again, it's another reception within the walking distance. You don't have to take taxis or shuttle bus if you're coming from the convention center, so very convenient. Thursday, partnering meetings all day again, and exhibition closes at 4:30. And before that, we also have Scientific American Super Session. It's kind of the concluding session, followed by the annual international reception. Everyone is welcome. That is the concluding event, and the reception is 2:30 until 4 p.m. And that's kind of the final event. Although it's worth mentioning that if you've attended BIO Career Fair in the past, or if you haven't, you're welcome to attend this year's BIO Talent Connect. It's the reason why there's a different name. We have a different partner this year. It's called BioSpace, and the setup is slightly different from the Career Fair. It's more of a casual networking. So you're welcome to attend. This slide shows all our education tracks. So if you are with education access registration and above, you can attend any of these tracks. However, there are a couple worth mentioning that are open to exhibitors as well, emerging opportunities in global markets and global innovation hubs. And I'll talk about global innovation hubs in upcoming slides. So we've already mentioned David Cameron, Tuesday the 20th, 9 a.m. till 10:30, and Ann Romney. So global innovation hubs, 15-minute presentations by countries and U.S. states and some cities. So this program has grown into a full 2 days from previous year. We only had a day and a half. So this year it's 2 days. UK, Steve, I believe, is presenting on Wednesday.
Yeah, but it's a bit like Eurovision, isn't it? We'll get to do a bit. I'll come and sing our song.
Yeah, so Steve, if I understood correctly, you probably mentioned this in your slide as well, but global hubs or global innovation hubs will be on the stage. We're setting up a stage in the sales pavilion. Sales pavilion is like this pretty all light with windows area of the convention center on the upper level, and there is like a theater, and all these presentations will be in the open area so people can pass by and easily access it, even if they didn't prepare for it. It's open, inviting. So hopefully will be great attendance in this program. And like I mentioned, it's open to all registration types. I'm sorry, Steve, did you want to comment?
Yeah, I think what's important on this slide is, as you say, if you look at the top 10 delegations that attend BIO internationally, you'll be glad to see that the UK ranks there as the second biggest attenders. And considering we're flying considerably further than our friends in Canada who've just got to pop down from Vancouver, I think it shows great testament to the strength of the British delegation that you'll find at BIO in a few weeks' time.
Absolutely, and actually, thank you for bringing up your attendance numbers. Last year in San Francisco, we had 491 people, and last time in San Diego in 2014, 497. This year, currently, you have 483, and we are still 10 days away, and there are also some sign-ups usually on-site, so you possibly surpassing your last year's numbers, so looking good. Here's what the exhibit hall looks like. It's long and narrow. It's you'll get your exercise walking from one end to another, but it's it's easy to navigate convention center. We love going back to San Diego because there's no confusing hallways. It's very, very straightforward. Just like in previous years, the business forum is part of the exhibition. You will see in gray, that's all a business forum meeting rooms. Basically, where you see entrance, that's the long hallway, and right outside of it, that's where the shuttle buses will be picking people up and dropping them off. So and on the right-hand side is the Marriott Marquis Hotel, then kind of entrance by Hall H. On the left-hand side, there's the Omni Hotel, and on the left-hand side, the Hilton Hotel. So everything is like right there within the walking distance. Something we've been doing for the past 3 years or so is the Startup Stadium. This year, for the first time, we're able to open it up to international companies. So there will be presentation by not just local California companies, but also international. And that area is located in the exhibit hall, and it's open to all. So you're welcome to attend the presentations. As previously mentioned, partnering numbers are looking good. So this chart shows growth of the partnering meetings over the past year. So obviously, this is a very important component of the convention. Bioacademic campus. So I'm calling out, if you've seen before Academic Zone, it used to be an area in the exhibit hall. Now academics are located they exhibit in their country or state pavilions, but they also have a dedicated sort of like a sponsor area in the business forum for easy meetings with them. So these are just some participants in the academic campus. And as I said, we're doing, instead of career fair, we now do Talent Connect. That's our Thursday program. We encourage everyone to download the MyBio app. If you don't know what MyBio is, but basically it's your planner. You can add sessions and events to your calendar so that it sends you reminders. You can search people, sponsors, exhibitors. So if you do not participate in partnering, definitely rely on MyBio and browse before going to the convention. It will greatly help you when you're on site. These are the receptions that I've already mentioned as well. Something we're bringing back, we haven't had this since Chicago in 2013, so if you are into running, join us for the 5K run. It's at 7 in the morning on Monday, and BIO is donating $15,000 to a local charity. Also, if you are into yoga, I would like to mention we have bright and early, 6:30 in the morning, yoga sessions on Tuesday and Wednesday at the convention center.
Me and David Cameron will be there.
Hope so. Yeah, really, you have intel, then perhaps I'll join as well. So this slide shows you the different events you're able to access with different registration types. This chart is also available on the convention website. And I think this concludes my presentation. I think we'll have some questions maybe at the end, but Steve, if you don't have any questions for me, then I'm going to pass the microphone to Hilda.
Great. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. As Steve mentioned, my name is Hilda Mwangi, and I am the Vice Consul for Life Sciences based out of Los Angeles, but I primarily cover San Diego. And as such, I'm the co-lead for bio for our department here in the US. And I'll get to who's who in our team. But for now, here we go. So on behalf of our San Diego-based consul and UK government officer, David Pasquini, and the entire US Life Science team, I would really like to welcome all of you to BIO 2017, and especially to San Diego. So if you don't know a lot about San Diego, haven't been here before, San Diego is not just America's finest city or the birthplace of California. It is also home to the San Diego Padres, SeaWorld San Diego, quite famous San Diego Zoo, and the original Top Gun. As Diana mentioned, the opening reception on Monday night will be at Petco Park, which is the home of the Padres. And I mentioned this to my team coming out from the UK and said, if you have never watched the movie Top Gun or don't know what Top Gun is, please Google it. Because if you say you don't know what Top Gun is in San Diego, you might get a few looks. San Diego is also home to the former San Diego Chargers. That is also another sticky point in San Diego. So don't ask about the NFL team just yet. It's been too soon since they left San Diego for Los Angeles. So just a few tidbits. You will notice on this slide where the airport is and where the San Diego Convention Center is. They're not far. So it's about a 10-minute drive or so without traffic, and the primary road between the two usually doesn't have traffic, so you'll be just fine. but do build in some time, especially when going back to the airport for security and things like that. But that's the beauty of San Diego. It's quite easy to get around. And unfortunately, because the two are so close together, the hotels, a lot of them don't provide shuttle service because they are so close. However, it's quite easy to get around and to get from the airport to the various hotels in the downtown area. Right. Okay. So getting around, as I said, you'll notice the airport is quite close. It's only 3 miles northwest of downtown San Diego. It's a short drive away from the downtown Gaslamp Quarter and the convention center. And the airport has a great frequently asked questions page, which you can use as a resource if you have any questions about the airport itself. For those who are adventurous, feel free to take the 992 city bus from the airport. You can also use Uber, Lyft, or taxis to commute between the two. If you don't yet have Uber or Lyft downloaded on your phones, I would suggest to do that before you leave the UK, just to prevent any glitches from happening while you're already at the airport and you're anxious to just get out. So do contact your hotels for, in case they are a bit further out, your hotels are further out, if they do have shuttle options. But the ones closest to the convention center typically tend not to have any. But again, you're all staying at different places, so feel free to contact them directly. And for your convenience, we put together a list of local taxis that are used, including how they're paid, how you can contact them when you land, and so on and so forth. So feel free, if you don't have Uber, Lyft, or just don't want the hassle of downloading something else on your phone, feel free to use taxis. And there are also taxi ranks at the airport, so you can also just go down there and use those. So Diana had put up a floor map of the convention center, and as she mentioned, it's quite one of the more friendly convention centers in the US in that it is pretty well laid out. But you will notice how long it is. So please, please, please bring comfortable walking shoes or a change of shoes, whatever you prefer. The Great Britain Pavilion is at booth number 4827. It is located in Hall G, and I've put a nice little red dot where it is. And so we're easy to find. The booth is quite large, and we'll have the Union Jack proudly displayed so you can't miss us. So this is the design of our stand this year. Again, it's booth 4827. As you'll notice, there are quite ample space for meetings on the stand, and a lot of our teams will be there, so feel free to stop by. And the purpose of this mock-up is to give you an idea of what the stand looks like before you come, so that you'll be able to easily recognize it and identify it. This is kind of the back view of the stand. Right. So on the stand, not only will the Department for International Trade be there, but we will be joined by our colleagues and partners at London & Partners, the Northern Health Science Alliance, Northern Powerhouse, Alderley Park, MedCity, and Northwest eHealth. So all of these are great organizations and companies that are regionally based around the UK, and we welcome all UK companies to stop by. And if only just to say hello, that's also good. But do feel free to come by and mingle. As for activities on the pavilion itself, we will be having on-stand partnering meetings, and you can schedule these on the biopartnering system with any of those partners that I mentioned, including the commercial officers from the UK Department for International Trade. We will be having a UK Pavilion reception, which is sponsored by Northern Powerhouse, to whom we're very grateful for doing that. It will be on Tuesday, the 20th of June, from 5 to 6:30. And as Diana mentioned, some people might be having partnering meetings until 5:30, But don't worry, there'll be plenty of food and drinks left for you to enjoy even at 5:30. Again, it'll be on the stand. And in true British style, we will be serving British food and drink. So do stop by and hopefully we'll have your favorite kind of drink there. You can also request to meet with any of our commercial officers, again, via the BIA partnering system, to discuss any trade opportunities you might be interested in. And we will be serving tea at 10 and 2. So if you happen to just be making your way from one stand to another, from one meeting to another, do stop by for a good cup of tea and some Walker's shortbread, which hopefully we will not run out of before the end of the convention. So we're also offering companies an opportunity to kind of raise awareness of your presence at BIO and get companies to notice that you're there and what you do. So if you'd like to take a screenshot of this, that'd be great. We're asking British companies to send images and their unique propositions of their products or services. Or if you're a CEO who's attending and you'd like to offer up a quote about being a UK company and the opportunities that are available, we'd like that as well. Or if you'd like to draft tweets that you'd like us to be able to push out to all of our networks, that'd be great as well. So the key person for this is Laura Kay, whose email is featured on this slide. And if you can put that together by Friday or Monday at the very latest, that would be fantastic. Right. So I'd mentioned that the UK Department for International Trade will be there. So these are some of the officers who will be there. We've had a few more join us since the publication of this slide. So the UK bio lead for this year is Chris Thomas, who is the senior account manager based out of London. And the US co-lead with me is John McLennan, who is based in Boston. You'll see me there here in Los Angeles. We've got Hillary Glidden, who sits in Washington, D.C., who is our chief commercial officer. And we've got other colleagues also from Boston, 2 more from Los Angeles. And we also have specialists who focus on different global markets. So we have Dr. Du who focuses on the Chinese market, but he's based out of the UK. We've got Miss Kim, who's coming from South Korea, who would be a great asset to anybody looking out in those parts of the world. And we will also be having a colleague out from Brazil. So if anybody's interested in the Latin American markets, she'd be a good person to contact, and her name is Arlie Bellis. So again, all of these people are registered and you can find them on the partnering system. So a few tips if there's anybody here who has not attended BIO before. As I mentioned, comfortable walking shoes are your friend, and definitely pace yourself. There's a lot happening at BIO and you don't want to burn out on Monday. So, but more than that, when it comes to the conversations with other companies, especially American companies, be persistent. You might not get through on the first try, so keep trying and try again. Prepare a direct introduction. Sometimes it's not good to just wing it. These partnering meetings are quite short. They're about 15 to 20 minutes long. So you do want to just get to the point. So having something that's rehearsed and that just is direct is the best way through. But more than that, structure it in a way that highlights your value and what you're asking for quite early on. And also, come ready with examples, not long stories, just short, quick examples of how you've helped other companies and the outcomes that have come from that. Also, do not use qualified statements like, it's not bad or it's okay. Don't understate something, just say it like it is. Might be hard, but be direct. And my colleague John McLennan has published a guide which is called Culture of Doing Business in the US. So if anybody would like that, feel free to email me and I'm more than happy to send it out. I will also be sending it out to Danielle, who can send it around after this presentation. But it's a really useful guide because cultural differences really can make or break a meeting, and US business people can be quite a different cup of tea, really. So last, but well, almost last, but certainly not least, this to me actually happened, I think, is one of the more important slides, really. For all of you to know, is, before you come out, the consulate in charge of San Diego is the one here in Los Angeles, and that is our address. We do have 24-hour consular services assistance. It's not necessarily based out of here, Los Angeles, but there's a hotline for it, and the number is there. And so if anything comes up, whether it's a personal emergency, which God forbid that would even come up, a lost passport, needing emergency travel documents, that would be the number to call for a 24-hour basis. And then if it's during business hours, they will route you to the Los Angeles office where you can speak with our consular department. Also do visit the travel advice website listed on this slide, because we're not assuming that all of you are coming from the UK before coming to San Diego. And as some of you might know, of recent times, there are several different airline regulations about carrying laptops, etc. So do please visit this website for the latest information on traveling into the US. And if you have any questions, chances are they'll be answered on that website. And these are the contacts for BIO this year. So you've got Chris Thomas, who leads from the UK side, and myself, which is a great thing because with time zones and everything like that, if we have an 8-hour difference between Los Angeles and the UK. So if I'm asleep, Chris should be awake and can cater to all your questions. Great, and that's me, and I look forward to your questions at the end of the presentation.
Hilda, thank you very, very much indeed, and thank you for a very clear and concise presentation. We look forward to working with you both on the stand and through the week. And just for those of you who have participated in BIO before, we did ask for the opportunity for companies to be able to present from the stand at the beginning of this process last year. That's not something that was able to be done in a time frame that was able for companies to meet, and to have partnering on the stand. It's partnering with the representatives of the department. You can't organise your own partnering with other people on the stand at this time. It's something we continually look to represent to get the company perspective into government thinking. But I don't think that this is something that we've managed to win the battle on this year. And of course, you'll be aware that the department has decided not to support companies in terms of travelling to this program this year, as they have done in previous years. So I think that that's probably why you'll see more companies from the UK looking to prioritise the partnering section of this conference than the stand. But I think it's really important that we as a community get together on the stand, particularly for the reception on the Tuesday evening. And I think it would be fantastic to see people together around those tea times with the shortbread, which I know will be a lure not just to Brits, but people from around the world who've not had the opportunity to highlight the fantastic fare that our Scottish colleagues deliver from their bakeries. So maybe if I can just move forward and give you, for the 500 or so Brits that will be there, a quick synopsis of the things that I would mention that might be worth having in your diary day by day as we go forward, because there's thousands of things. If you think about it, really at BIO you've got 4 or 5 things happening at once. You have a standard BIO partnering conference, people going into booths, meeting people they've pre-arranged speed dates with to talk about their companies, and that's really the core backbone of what many companies go for. There's a global exhibition of both companies and pavilions from countries exhibiting what they do in the bioeconomy, with some great opportunities to meet service providers, people from other countries. So you've got a partnering conference, you've got a fantastic exhibition hall. You then also have, allied to that, a fantastic education program with lots and lots of sessions, far more than you could ever attend. And really this is where planning and picking through them is very, very important. Working out what's right for you. You can spend the whole time doing any one of these 3 things, but they all happen concurrently. And finally, there is a fantastic social program, as Diana and Hilda have talked about, and I think it's important that you plan that social activity as well. So in a sense, you've got 4 conferences rolled into a very few days, and I'm just going to pick out a couple of the highlights that you might, from a UK perspective, be interested in. Obviously, BIO starts on Monday. I think the idea is that those who are based in the US can fly in Monday morning, be ready for partnering Monday afternoon, and then go to the conference in the evening. We tend to fly in Sunday because of the way that the flights work. So our colleagues at One Nucleus are doing an executive breakfast seminar Monday morning, 7:30 to 10:30 in the West in San Diego, on how technology, data, and R&D are driving smarter R&D strategies in US and Europe. So that will be a good event post yoga to get down to via the One Nucleus website. And we, the BIA, with MedCity and MRC Technology, are hosting a reception on the Monday evening between 5 and 7 before the Petco Park reception, which is just across the road. If you're interested, please email us if you want to come to that, and we'll get the Brits together there for a couple of hours before we probably head over to the Petco Park reception, and we'll have shaken off our jet lag by then. On Tuesday, Diana's already mentioned it, I think it's vitally important that we support our former Prime Minister, who will be giving a keynote speech first thing in the morning. And then there are a couple of bits that I'm doing if you're interested during the day. I'm doing a challenge of spurring innovation in global markets in the Tuesday morning, and that's the reference there. And I think also we're doing a panel on Brexit and what does it mean for the UK and beyond, really to try and make sure that the global community has an understanding of the opportunities and a chance to ask any questions about Brexit. What does it mean for our sector? How medicines technology is going to work, how regulation is going to work, what are the trade issues that come from that, and answer some questions, show what we've been doing around that thinking. Tuesday afternoon between 3 and 4, again in room 25AB. That's where I seem to be spending most of Tuesday, before we come to the fantastic reception, pavilion reception on the Tuesday early evening, 5 till 5:30, where I hope we'll have warm ale for the Northerners. Otherwise, the Northern Powerhouse will be upset if we've not got some fine ale. Although I see that gin and tonic has overtaken it in terms of revenues for the Treasury. So we'll see which of those we end up with on the panel there. And then recovering from that on Wednesday, I will be doing why the UK is the best place to build a biotech company in that sales pavilion. Diana mentioned. I think I'm after Brazil, before China, and in between several parts of Australia that are presenting. So that's what I'll be doing there for 15 minutes. And then I think there's a really interesting panel which MedCity are doing with Evidation Health and Cambridge Cognition on our clinical trials ready to go digital, which again I would encourage people to have a look at Wednesday afternoon, 4:15 to 5:15 in room 6EF. You will find that there are lots and lots of panels and events going on through the week, including also company presentations. They are all on the BIO website. It is worth having a half an hour to go through that. Have a look for the panels and areas that may interest you. There's too many for us to list, but if you're interested in us as BIA promoting you as a UK company, either your company presentation or you're on a panel and you want people to know about it, please email Jane. We'll put it on a BIA website. We'll continue to do the social marketing. We'll partner with our colleagues at Department for International Trade in getting the buzz around the UK delegation going, and get people engaged and involved in those activities. So lots of those are available. We're aware of many member companies who are doing things, and we will tweet them and promote them during the week. I've got one slide. If you are partnering or you are engaging with people who perhaps are not meeting the UK or companies from the UK every day, why is the UK a great place to develop a biotech company, a life sciences company? This is a one-slide summary, the elevator pitch, if you like, of that which I'll talk about on the Wednesday afternoon. But I think it's always useful for us to have why we are a great place. I mean, we are the third global cluster for life science, and I know San Diego have unfortunately lost the crown of having an NFL team. Unfortunately, I've got more bad news for San Diego this year. They've also gone behind the UK in the amount of venture capital raised in the life sciences sector. So we're coming up hard on the heels of Boston and San Francisco in California, and we've in fact overtaken the San Diego cluster. So the UK is coming up, and perhaps that's why NFL teams are looking to move to London, I don't think we're going to get the one from Los Angeles. We might get one from somewhere else. And not only have we got that, we've also got fantastic Premier League teams, whether they be Manchester, London, or anywhere else. If you like cricket, you can come here for cricket, all the rest of it. In terms of the being the hub for life sciences, one of the things that I think impresses people who are looking at what you can do in the UK is we do have a big organisation here in terms of mini organisations with a deep talent pool of people who know what they're doing in biotech. People who don't know the UK very well are impressed by the size and scale of our ecosystem, whether it be in universities, whether it be in charities, whether it be in big companies like GSK and AstraZeneca, whether it be in our smaller companies. We have a deep talent pool, and we really are the hub of expertise. You can find someone who can help you do it in the UK scene. We have a fantastic science base in the UK. Really, ever since Crick and Watson all the way through Dolly the Sheep, we have got world-leading universities that are producing fantastic science at scale. Whether this be Oxford, Cambridge, UCL, King's, Edinburgh, we really have got fantastic universities, globally relevant life science universities, which is producing fantastic science, which is driving our sector. Nobody else has really got that concentration in the geographical space that we've got in the UK. Over 5,500 companies to partner with. Then, in terms of a policy base, and I'll make much of this when I'm out in San Diego, we have a highly competitive and efficient tax regime for companies. And if you look at how effective tax rates work, both for entrepreneurs and for businesses that are looking to locate certain types of activity here, we are already outperforming that which President Trump aspires to offer in tax regimes. And I don't think we make enough of this. People don't get this unless they understand it. But be confident that the UK is a fantastic place. Make people come and have a look at this, because it really is a very good place to do that. Allied to that, we do have deep pools of access to finance compared to most parts of the rest of the world. The City of London and an established VC community means you can get a business up and running here, and you can scale it here. Okay, we don't have the deep pools of cash that you see on NASDAQ, but we do have the opportunity to get to the things that enable you to access that global finance pools, and we can get people started and scaling, and we've got lots going on here. The NHS is the world's largest integrated health system. It has significant opportunity, particularly in the new areas of integrated health, digital health, and the new ways of doing clinical trials, as the panel that MedCity are doing. It's definitely worth a look, and I think with the guys that we've got on the stand, they will be able to exhibit some of the finest work that is being done by that healthcare system. The alliances that you see in the north of England or through MedCity in terms of academic base, leading clinical hospitals, clinical collaborations really are first rate. And when people get to understand them and know them, they really are an asset for the UK. Encourage people to go and meet the guys, see what they're doing. We've been a launchpad for global success for many companies. The heart of Illumina is Solexa's technology. Monoclonal antibodies have grown from the UK. And I think this year, in a conference where there might be some concerns about US federal support for science, and with David Cameron giving the keynote, we are able to talk up the fantastic support we have for both investment in science and a pro-science community. If you think of the UK as being the first place that's got licensed mitochondrial transfer, we are a really, really positive and supportive base for science-based communities. We do not have vaccine deniers as a prominent part of a discourse, nor do we have a block as a result of a religious perspective onto many of the opportunities that result from science that comes from for our opportunity. And we're focused on ensuring that the best that can be brought from the latest science is translated into effective therapies in a very positive way in our country, which we should really talk up. And then we have the perennial opportunities of the UK being a really attractive place in terms of language, in terms of time zone. If you like your culture, if you like your sport, if you like your food, really London and the UK is a great place to be, and we should be proud and positive about what the UK can offer, both in terms of being a place of deep talent and a place where people do want to come and live. And I think if you've got this in mind when you're talking to your colleagues, it all gives us a good base to work from. And who knows, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll have a new government, and if we're lucky, we might even have a minister come along and join us, if I can twist their arm. Doesn't matter, we've got David Cameron anyway. A couple of slides from me on a report we did in the last couple of weeks about the state of the UK sector. It's called Building Something Great, the UK's Global Bioscience Cluster. Backs up the points I've been making here. Essentially, we are the biggest place in terms of venture capital raised outside of the US, overtaking San Diego is the top bit in the top right-hand corner here. We're the biggest in terms of anywhere in Europe, outpacing Switzerland. And if you look at UK and Switzerland together, we're doing better than anywhere else in Europe. Coming off the fantastic year of 2015, we've continued to see good financing going into our sector, and lots of activity, particularly venture capital, going on through 2016. And IPOs wise, we've continued to make sure that there is both good value and a significant number of them going on, even after the fantastic year of 2015. My final point on this one is really about the depth and strength of the clinical pipeline. This is about the number of candidates in the UK clinical pipeline, in the pipeline across Europe. You can say that the UK leads this. I think this goes to the strength of the ecosystem and is one indicator of the vibrancy of our sector. We'll always do the Twitter and make sure that we can keep up to date with developments. The hashtag I think this year is #BIO2017. It's always a good way of finding your way around if you've got your phone with you. With that, I realise we've kept you quite some time. I'm happy to answer any questions. So if anybody's got questions either by chat or on the phone, I'm happy to take them. Diana, when will the yoga be taking place?
Yeah, just started to answer to Danielle. It's on Tuesday and Wednesday, 6:30 in the morning at the convention center. And the exact location and access, because it's so early, there's like, instructions for accessing that area. Take a look on the convention website for more info. But hold on, my coworker, what is it? It's at the center terrace of the convention center.
Wow. As dawn breaks.
So are you planning on going now? Must be nice. Center Terrace, yoga, 6:30 in the morning in San Diego. Sounds wonderful.
Any other questions, comments, anything people want us to promote, or are we going to do an informal get-together on Sunday evening for those of us Brits who are flying in early? We haven't formally done one. I know what you mean. Get the jet lag out of your system. I'm looking at Jane, who is here. The reason we haven't strictly organised this is that in previous years, One Nucleus have done an event on the Sunday evening. They had planned to do an event on the Sunday evening, which isn't going ahead, unfortunately, on this occasion. So that's the reason why we haven't done it. It's a good question. Let's think about that. It will only be this will be the bowl that we are in, and we all get together here, so that people can get to know a few people. But I think I'm going to ask Jane Wall here with making sure that people are aware where we'll be going, and people will be free to join us very informally for some food or drink. Yeah. So email Jane Wall, same email as the networking event, and we'll tell people where we're going. If there's no more questions, can I thank Diana and Hilda, and look forward to seeing you both in San Diego in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you for attending. I hope you found this of use, and we welcome any feedback for this. If not, look forward to seeing you on the West Coast in a couple of weeks' time. Many thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.